My name is Gabbie. I haven't vlogged for a while, so this is the first for me for a few days. And nothing has really jumped out at me that I wanted to talk about except for today. I went to a meeting for work, and as I was driving home, I was listening to 702 ABC because I'm of a certain age now, and the FM stations don't really appeal in the same way that they used to. And I kind of like the talking, and there's some interesting topics. And I didn't quite catch the name of the guy, but they had a guy on with James Valentine on this afternoon, and he was talking about affection between parents and children and how important it is that parents show affection to their children, and it doesn't necessarily have to be physical affection. It doesn't have to be hugs and kisses, etc. It can be in just saying I love you, but ensuring that you convey that love to your child. And it was an interesting conversation, but the thing that really touched me and that made me think a little bit was they had a caller on whose name was Charlie, and he was about, I'd guess from the sound of his voice, in his probably 70s, 80s. He was an older man, and he was talking about how he went to Sculptures by the Sea last year, and he caught the bus home, and as he caught the bus home, on got a man who's probably about 30 or so, and his small child who he guessed to be about 3, and they sat across from Charlie, and as they were sitting on the bus, the child leant up to the dad and whispered something in his ear, and then the father knelt down and whispered something in his son's ear, and then the child climbed into the father's lap and proceeded to fall asleep. So the dad put the child in the seat next to him and just comforted him, and it wasn't so much that action, but it was the way Charlie, this older gentleman, was conveying what he saw, and the fact that it touched him, and you could tell by the tone in his voice how much it touched him. And it made me think that man with his child was sharing a moment between the two of them, but it touched somebody else in the actions that they had, in the way that they showed affection for each other. It brought something to this old man's life where, you know, I don't know his circumstance or situation, but it could have been the only sign of affection that he'd seen, and it really brightened up his day. It made him, it touched him, and you could tell by his voice on the radio, which in fact touched me, hearing this old man be so touched. And it just made me think that there are so many things that we could do for each other with kindness in our own lives, in our own families, that somehow has this ripple effect onto other people. So, to quote Ellen DeGeneres, who is generous by name and by nature, be kind to one another, and let's practice some kindness and see if we can make the world a better place to live in. Grandstanding, I know, but hey, that's me, and my name's Gabbie. Bye.